Today, I'll be reading one of my favorite books, The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, for you guys. And I'm going to start where we left at, page 15. It will. How much you charging? $5 every 2 weeks? They'll be a big help to you. I'll say. Their conversation is like a gently wicked dance. Sound meets sound. Shimmies and retires. Another sound enters, but is upstaged by still another. The two circle each other and stop. Sometimes their words move in lofty spirals. Other times they take steered leaps. And all of it is punctuated with warm, pulsed laughter, like the throb of a heart made of jelly. The edge, the curl, the thrust of their emotions is always clear to Friday and me. We do not, cannot know the meanings of all their words, for we are 9 and 10 years old. So we watch their faces, their hands, their feet, and listen for truth and timber. So when Mr. Henry arrived on a Saturday night, we smelled him. We smelled wonderful, like trees and lemon vanishing cream, and new now hair oil and flecks of sin. He smiled a lot, showing small, even teeth with a friendly gap in the middle. Frida and I, when I introduced him, merely pointing out like he is the bathroom. The clothes closet is here. And these are my kids, Frida and Claudia. Watch out for this window. It don't open all the way. We look sideways at him, saying nothing, and expecting him to say nothing. Just a nod, as he had done at the clothes closet, acknowledging our existence. To our surprise, he spoke to us. Hello there. You must be Greta Garbo, and you must be Ginger Rogers. We giggled. Even my father was startled into a smile. What a penny. He held out a shining coin to us. Frida lowered her head, too pleased to answer. I reached for it. He snapped his thumb and forefinger, and the penny disappeared. Our shock was laced with delight. We searched all over him, poking our fingers into his socks, looking up the inside back of his coat. If happiness is anticipation with certainty, we were happy. And while we waited for the coin to reappear, we knew we were amusing Mom and Daddy. Daddy was smiling, and Mama's eyes went soft as they followed our hands, wondering over Mr. Henry's body. We loved him, even after what came later. There was no bitterness in our memory of him. She slept in the bed with us, right on the outside, because she is brave. It never occurs to her that if in her sleep her hand hangs over the edge of the bed, something will crawl out from under it and bite her. Fingers off. I sleep near the wall because that thought has occurred to me. Pacola, therefore, had to sleep in the middle. Mama had told us 2 days earlier that a case was coming, a girl who had no place to go. The country had placed her in our house for a few days until they could decide what to do, or more precisely, until the family was united. We were to be nice to her and not fight. Mama didn't know what got into people, but that old dog, Breelove, had burned up his house, gone upside his wife's head, and everybody, as a result, was outdoors. Outdoors, we knew, was the real terror of life. The threat of being outdoors surfaced frequently in those days. Every possibility of access was with it. If somebody ate too much, he could end up outdoors. If somebody used too much coal, he could end up outdoors. People could gamble themselves outdoors, drink themselves outdoors. Sometimes mothers put their sons outdoors. And when that happened, regardless of what the son had done, all sympathy was with him. He was outdoors, and his own flesh had done it. To be put outdoors by a landlord was one thing, unfortunate, but as an aspect of life over which you had no control, since you could not control your income, but to be slack enough to put on shelf outdoors, or heartless enough to put one's own kin outdoors. That was criminal. There's a difference between being put out and being put outdoors. If you are put out, you go somewhere else. If you are outdoors, there is no place to go. The distinction was subtle but final. Outdoors was the end of something, an irrevocable physical fact defining and complementing our metaphysical condition. Being a minority in both caste and class, we moved about anyway on the hem of life, struggling to consolidate our weakness and hang on, or to creep singly up into the major folds of the garment. Our existence, however, was something we had learned to deal with, probably because it was abstract. But the concreteness of being outdoors was another matter, like the difference between the concept of death and being. In fact, dead. Dead doesn't change. And outdoors is here to stay. Knowing that there was such a thing as outdoors bred in us a hunger for property, for ownership, the firm possession of a yard, a porch, a grape arbor. Perpetrated. Black people spent all their energies, all their love on their nest. Like frenzied, desperate birds, they overdecorated everything, fused and fidgeted over their hard-won homes. Canned, jellied, and preserved all summer to fill the cupboards and shelves. They painted, picked, and poked at every corner of their houses. And their houses loomed like hot house sunflowers among the rows of weeds that were renting houses. Renting blacks cast furtive glances at these own yards and porches and made firmer commitments to buy themselves. Some nice little old place. In the meantime, they saved and scratched and piled away what they could in the rented hovels, looking forward to the day of property. Charlie Breelove, then a renting black, having put his family outdoors, had catapulted himself beyond the reaches of human consideration. He had joined the animals, was indeed an old dog, a snake, a ratty nigga. For the boy Sammy was with some other family, and Pocola was to stay with us. Charlie was in jail. She came with nothing. No litter paper bag with the other dress, or a nightgown, or two pair of a whitish cotton bloomers. She just appeared with the white woman and sat down. We had fun in those days. Pocola was with us. Far and I stopped fighting each other and concentrated on our guests, trying hard to keep her from failing outdoors. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna stop at page 19. That was The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. One of my favorite books. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure y'all follow, like, subscribe, all that. Share. Thank y'all for y'all time. Keep thriving, stay motivated. We global.